Hey, Adventure Al here. Welcome to the channel. This is the first main video that I'm going to go over some gear and things that I've been using for 1.5 years now as I've kind of ventured out and started hunting throughout the different seasons. In a few weeks here, squirrel season is starting up. So I actually like to go out and scout some areas for deer season, which is several months away, but this gives you a good reason to get outdoors, get some miles under your belt, go through areas that you might want to look at for hunting or fishing or camping or backpacking, and also maybe harvest some squirrels. Once we get some of those this season, I'm going to go through my fails and attempts at cooking it to make it edible. Last year, I only harvested 2 squirrels because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was probably super loud and going to all the wrong places and looking at the wrong trees. But hopefully this year I've learned a little bit more, done some more research, and I'll share all that as we get into the actual season and we get out into the woods. I personally use a shotgun. You can use a 22. I exclusively hunt in public land because I don't have access to private land, nor do I own any. So I'm a little nervous about shooting high FPS projectiles that can go 1.5 miles. Being more immature and getting in the moment when you see an animal. I don't want to shoot things up into the tree, up into the air, or through the woods, not knowing 110% what's out there. So because of that, I use a shotgun. I may pull out my recurve bow that I've started playing around with, but at the expense of losing 1,000,000 arrows trying to hit squirrels, I'll probably be sticking with the shotgun this year. So I have a very basic Maverick 88 shotgun. This will run you about $200. It does not come camo. I actually did this. I might do another video on this. I bought a vinyl wrap, which was one of the more stressful things I've ever done, trying to warm and stretch and cut and contour this. But I thought, at least myself, it came out pretty good. A lot of people don't realize that it's a wrap and they think that it's a stock, more expensive shotgun. But when it comes to shotguns, I'm sure there's a lot of strong opinions out there. I think that they're pretty basic machines. You put shells in it, you shoot it, and you pump it, and it cycles. I've put 1,000 rounds to this. I use this for sport clay as well because I want to be able to hit clays before I spend money on a shotgun and then start to blame the shotgun before I blame myself. The gear you wear, squirrels, you're walking around, so you don't need to be head to toe in expensive camo. I have a $20 pair of camo pants from Walmart, and then I wear a long sleeve t-shirt just to keep the bugs off. Since it's going to be pretty hot here in Georgia, I still want to wear long sleeves just so I don't get 1,000,000 mosquito bites walking through the woods. But I will catch you all in the woods when we get out there when season starts. Talk to you then. All right, first day of squirrel season. Heading out of my neighborhood to the woods. Gonna start scouting for deer areas, see what the woods look like after about 6-7 months of not being out there since the end of last squirrel season, and see if we can catch some squirrels so we can have some barbecue appetizers tonight before dinner. So hope you enjoy. This is my second squirrel season, I think, so I'm excited to get out here, see what the woods look like. They always look different depending on the time of year. It's fun to just get out there, explore. I got a few different areas in the public lands near my house that I'm going to check out, and we'll see what we find. So I'll see you there. Enjoy the adventure. All right, so we've gotten back into some public land, and I just wanted to go over the stuff that I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to go get the rest of my gear. All right, so today I'm going to be using 4-shot high brass. It's really dense foliage still in the summer here, so Need something that'll punch through all the leaves and not just maim, and actually be able to harvest the squirrels if we run into any. Outside of that, I got my $5 pillow that I'll sit down if I find a good area to see if any squirrels want to come down and play. And then just some miscellaneous things, snacks, toiletries in case nature calls, and then some knives and bags and wipes and gloves in case we find any animals out there. So it should be a good hike. It's about 90 degrees today, so it's going to be nice and sweaty. Make sure my safety's on. All right, let's roll out. Alright, let's see if we see any squirrels. I was out a little bit earlier with some family members, and this is new. And we didn't see anything, so hopefully this is a much better trip. Try to avoid these massive spider webs. So land like this is everywhere. You should be able to go to your local Department of Natural Resources, find their hunting sections, and most of them have interactive maps where you can find WMAs or wildlife management areas near you. And then you just have to make sure you're looking up your state and county hunting guidelines. They usually publish them. They're pretty decently detailed and long, so you want to make sure you read them all. And the DNR officers are super helpful if you call and ask questions. Like when I first started out, I asked about open carrying just in case I run into a coyote or a bear that's not having a good day, or some other nefarious situation where maybe my rifle or my shotgun or my crossbow is not the correct defensive mechanism. So they highly encourage it here. Because it means that everyone's walking around and typically much safer. So that is how it works around here. This area is where I came for my first ever hunt. I didn't even have a gun. My family member showed me, father-in-law showed me how to get out here, find the maps, do all the things I just mentioned, and then we came out here and sat. And it was at the very end of the first season we moved here and we didn't see anything. But I really love just sitting out in nature and walking out through here. This is really overgrown since they turned it off from 4x4. It's coming through here. This is going to be hopefully good then. I might have to come out here for deer season now. What I've found is even if I don't see a single animal, it's still super enjoyable to get out here, away from people, noise, and just enjoy nature. And some of these areas are pretty cool. Like I said, this shotgun, $180, $200. Comes in a variety of configurations. I have the non-rifled all-purpose barrel. I think it's 22 inches. You can buy rifled slugs for deer and large game, or you can buy a rifled barrel and shoot regular slugs. You can shoot all the different shotgun cartridges. Today I'm using 4-shot high brass because of all this thick vegetation you see we're walking through here. I haven't heard a single peep from any animal. And also with this shotgun, you can buy a shotgun rail that bolts on right here if you wanted to do a scope. or a red dot instead of having to pay someone to drill and tap it, since that's more money than the actual shotgun. I think they sell them. I'll have to put the link in the video, but I had that originally, but don't make the mistake I had. I bought a airsoft rated without knowing anything about scopes. So when I went to a outdoor range to zero my rifled slugs, which is also a pretty rough shooting experience, which is why I went and bought a 308 rifle for deer season. I ended up breaking the scope internally without even realizing it, so I shot about 15 rounds with shaking arms, wondering why I was still off zero. Come to find out, the reticle wasn't even moving when I was making the adjustments because it was all broken internally. Because it was an airsoft rated scope, and that's why it was $40 on Amazon. So not everything you read on Amazon is accurate. But I bought a rifle, and I'll go over that during deer season, that came with a scope, and it was factory zeroed, a Savage Axis. I'll have that. Oh my, it's a big one. Savage Axis. Comes in pretty much every caliber. Oh wow, look at that guy. Oh, there's two of them. He's got a friend. Oh. Getting thick back here. But that rifle was only $500 with everything, so it was a no-brainer for me at the time. But in the meantime, this $200 shotgun will get you through every season, and it'll harvest any animal pretty much, except the super large game where you need some mega firepower. But I've never even delved into that, so I don't even know what calibers you need for big things like moose and elk. We got little baby deer here in North Georgia. These trees would be perfect. We haven't heard or seen one. Oh. So, quick tip, I learned from an instructor, clay shooting. When you're holding a shotgun, if you point your pointer finger forward, and then in your brain, you just point where you want the pellets to go. And my accuracy probably improved about 25% after that short little impromptu lesson from the range instructor, free of charge. There's definitely a squirrel up here. Up there somewhere. Problem here, all these trees are so close. They can be 16 trees away before you triangulate the noise. Chipmunk down his hole. At least we're seeing animals over here, and a lot of bugs. Go back up to where we heard those squirrels and see if we can bring one or two home. Well, today it might just be hiking with a shotgun, which is what it is most of the time, at least in my area. They have a whole highway up there, 80 feet in the air. Even if you see them, sometimes they're gone. A dead tree right there. That was this one. Some gnarly spiders back here. Alright, see if we can get up on that ridge. Kind of see the game trails once you walk around the woods enough. For one, they're much easier to walk through. And you start to figure out where the animals are coming from. First time I came out in the woods, it looked all like trees to me. I want to see how far I can go this way before I go to private property. Well, I don't know if I want to go that much further. Oh, beautiful squirrel habitat up there. They're just missing the squirrels. There's also just too many leaves. You can hear them sometimes. Sit here for a minute. See if we can find anything. Too many good trees right here. The conclusion. I'm the only idiot out here in mid-90-degree weather in the middle of August. Even the squirrels are smart enough to stay home. But that's when the season starts. It's a good excuse to sweat in the woods. engagements today, but at least we got to see a woodpecker fly around. Gonna be 5 squirrels sitting on my truck, daring me to shoot them. I might just though. It's old enough. Dang. I'd be all up in that tree if I was a squirrel. But whether you do this alone or no way. There you go. I bet you there's another chipmunk coming in the hole. Man, got me all excited. Dang. Well, he's valiant effort. I'm soaking wet. Alright. Well, that's that. We're too close to the road now. Once you're within us, there's so many feet of an open access road, hunting is not permitted. Oh. Like to triple check visual and physical just in case. Well, this is a huge property that goes on, I think, almost 2 miles that way. So we'll be doing some more exploring and checking out the rest of this property and some other pieces here. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more fruitful than they were today, but it's always a good day to get out in nature. So Can't complain. Now it's time to go back to civilization. Pretend to enjoy it for another week. No, that doesn't make any sense. Well, thanks for coming along. Maybe we'll chat a little bit on the way out and show you the road in here. It's not too bad, but I've been to some areas where I can't get through until I get a bigger truck, 4x4, or it's just impossible because of the weather and the dirt and the erosion. So, but you can always hike in. Just depends if you're able to get there or not. But thanks for coming along. I am soaking wet. Had a good time sitting out there. The breeze was amazing whenever it came through. And at least we get to see a bunch of spiders. So we'll see how many bites I have in the morning. Talk to you again soon. All right, well, no squirrel, but we get out in nature, out of the house, away from the computer I have to stare at all week. So it's a win in my book. Head on out of here. The nice thing about a lot of these areas is you probably don't even need a truck. I've seen Priuses back here, little front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, doesn't matter. This road's pretty well maintained. A lot of them are right off the main road, little gates. There are some areas that I can't even get through with this truck. I don't have 4x4, maybe someday, but even then, it'd take longer to drive through the 4x4 trail than it would be to be able to get out there and actually get into the woods. So just depends on your area, how well maintained it is. But what I do is just look at the map. I did it on my desktop. It's a lot bigger, and then I could compare it to satellite. And then just start making plans to go check out little areas and see which one you can access with whatever means of transportation you have. It's accessible once you get into it. Just pay attention that you're not on private land. I've already passed the boundary, and this is, I believe it's an easement road, or it goes down to a cemetery, so maybe it's a county road, but on both sides right here is private, and there's signs everywhere, and they will not be too happy if I go meandering over there. So until you're comfortable, unless you have service and you can keep an eye on your GPS location, I'd recommend don't go too far exploring unless you know the direction you're going to is safe. There's certain areas in this area, it's all up against the lake, so as long as I'm going towards the lake, I know when to stop because I can't go any further. But like when we turned around up on that ridge line, I didn't want to go too far, get into someone's private property, even if it was by accident, just because I don't want to be in that situation. So hope you all learned something. Feel free to give me tips and tricks, because I'm sure plenty of opportunity out there for me to do better, or to know things and look for things, and maybe I wasted time in areas that I shouldn't have. But it's all the same to me. I enjoy walking around the woods and getting out in nature, so hopefully next time we'll at least see a squirrel, and then maybe we can actually harvest one. But thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time.